God bless you. I am Jesus. Indeed, change is coming into your lives as you adjust and prepare for the changes that are coming to the earth. So, you feel the momentum, the desire to shift your attitudes and needs in accordance to what is required. We will guide you along this journey, beloved souls. Do not worry about your future. Rather, have faith in God and His guidance for you in your life. I come to deliver what is my last message for the world in this formal way. This instrument and I have been on quite a journey together, seeking to bring the truth forward through the gifts of His mediumship and through the truth that I wish to share. We have had a successful endeavor together. Our relationship together has strengthened through this journey. We are bonded as brothers, and shall be brothers for all eternity. There will be other works and ways of serving humanity through this partnership, this brotherhood. As this current endeavor comes to a close, there will be an opening up of other avenues of service for this instrument. I am well pleased with our efforts and what has been given in these many messages, delivered consistently and with deep devotion together as we have made our way along a journey of truth. I thank you, dear and beloved daughter, for your part played in this journey and all those who have focused upon the efforts that have been made and the messages that have been given. I also wish to thank all those who have transcribed and made effort to disseminate this message in many different ways. How creative is humanity! How creative are those individuals who have thought of using their gifts in this way, bringing to the world these messages in many different forms and platforms, delivered through the gifts of each individual. I have deep gratitude for the many who have prayed with us, who have made effort to acquire these messages, and have read them diligently and with great thought and focus. It is my hope that these messages will reach many, for the effort that have been made to bring forth these messages is great. Although it may seem a simple matter as you listen for my words through this instrument given during a period of time, to establish a rapport such as this and to formulate messages such as what has been given, is not an easy task. It requires much work from our side of life. Many spirits and angels have been involved in the process of making possible this form of communication. Of course, it is made much easier by this instrument, which does not resist nor doubt what we have accomplished together. It is the love within his soul that has allowed for these deeper messages to be delivered. It is most certainly the gifts that he carries as a medium that allows for the free flow of information through him from me. It is a relationship made in heaven, and such a gift for all of us, for it has always been my intention to continue to bring the truth of the glad tidings of God's love, His redemptive touch upon the souls of humanity. Whether those individuals inhabit the earthly plane or the spirit planes, I have been eager and dedicated to bringing this truth to the souls of humanity so that they may come to know and be informed of the choice that is given by God. I have had a great opportunity, may I even say a luxury, to speak through this instrument in such a way so that the word spoken may be clear and succinct, and bring forth the truth in such a way that no matter the intellectual abilities or spiritual capacities of the individual, they may understand my message of truth. My words have spoken of the ways and means they may apply these truths. Not since the mediumship of James Padgett has this been accomplished so well. Unfortunately, many discard the books that were written so long ago because of the formality of the language and the complexity of that which is read. So we have found a solution to this barrier by utilizing this medium and utilizing contemporary language to accomplish what we have intended to share. Although, no medium may bring through exactly what the Spirit intends to convey, as with the higher the soul development of the Spirit, the capacity and ability of the medium to make a close rapport with an individual who inhabits the earth plane is subject to certain impediments. Yet, I am well pleased with what has come through and what we have accomplished in these series of lessons. I do not see any errors expressed in these lessons. Rather, there is always the possibility of going into more depth and detail regarding these truths, especially those things pertaining to the laws of spirit and the functioning of the mortal in relationship to these laws. Yet, many books have been written on these subjects. It would be a daunting project indeed, for me to cover all of these subjects through this instrument. Yet, within the flow of these words spoken and printed, there is a detailed roadmap toward truth. As I have said often, the road to truth is not through words, but through the opening of the soul and the development of the soul, especially a soul that has been endowed with the great gift of divine love in adequate quantities so that they may proceed given guidance and inspiration toward true knowledge and experience of truth. Whether this is accomplished through the lessons that I have delivered, or through other ways and means is not the issue. It is not necessary to read these lessons if one has indeed experienced these truths personally and has come to their own formulation of truth through these experiences. My goal has always been to teach those who are ignorant and unaware of the truth. Those who are searching may find some answers in the efforts that we have given together and will find the path toward at-one-ment with God, the soul awakened with love, the perceptions coming alive and becoming a true and potent force within the individual's consciousness. Finding one's way in the material world is fraught with distractions, impediments, and dark forces which would draw you away. It is not an easy road, but each individual soul has many resources within, and will have many resources arrayed around them as they search for truth. In this, they are strengthened, protected, and guided toward truth. What is written in these volumes states as much, that he who seeks truth will elicit the response from God in many ways and many blessings. The impediments to truth are only powerful if the individual allows them to be so. They are subject to the laws as all mortals, spirits, and angels are subject to the laws of God's creation. If one is educated as to what these laws are, and comes to know the ways of utilizing this knowledge to grow their souls and cleanse themselves of dark conditions, they will find freedom and truth, joy and love, and they will find insight in a soul awakened in love. It is not a difficult process, because it does not require arduous analysis and study to find their way to this truth. Rather, it requires time in prayer with dedication, thought, focus and purpose, so that the individual may find their way to God and open themselves readily to what God has to give to them. They must seek out His love, which is a tangible and palpable force in the universe. It may be given readily if asked for with sincerity and deep desire, and the amount given is proportionate to the intensity of the desire to receive it. I have encouraged humanity to put aside the distractions of the material world, at least for some moments in the day, and be at peace with themselves and with God in prayer, blocking out the many distractions and energetic interferences while one is with God. In this way, the individual will find deep experiences and communion with their Creator. If they ask for the great blessing of God's divine love, then they will consciously realize this blessing and will feel its effect upon them. The power of the individual's efforts and choices is immense, and humanity is just beginning to open itself to the possibilities of what may be accomplished in the world. Unfortunately, many of these efforts are material accomplishments. Humanity has done great things in this way and horrible things. You have disrupted the natural cycles and balance of your world. Many have become focused on material accumulation and wealth. Many see their salvation and happiness through these efforts. Yet, how many are truly happy? How many have truly accomplished a sense of well-being and light? Within them is a deep hollowness, which is the soul's crying out to be fed and acknowledged. Yet, often when these individuals have a glimpse of such a condition within them, they scurry forth seeking out more material distractions in order to hide away from this truth within them. There are so many who are engaged in this way that is causing a great disturbance on the earth. This is why we continue to make great efforts to educate humanity, to help humanity come to that place where they are remedying a very serious situation within them, that of a soul withered by a lack of love and attention. Love is the key to healing the world, whether that be the expression of natural love, the love which all possess and can develop within them through their own efforts and will, or the love that comes from God which is added to the individual through prayer. The love from God is a more potent force and opens up many faculties of the soul, which the journey of natural love cannot do. Yet, all love expressed is a potent force in the world. I encourage all peoples of the world to develop and hone their abilities to express love, and to love themselves. This will come reflexively with the gift of divine love, and this is why I teach this truth so adamantly and repeat it so often. It is the quickest way to the awakening of the individual, their souls empowered with love. So few can even bring themselves to acknowledge this truth and utilize this truth in the ways that have been prescribed. So simple, yet so effective. As the world continues to darken and deep clouds of change and disruption are upon the horizon, humanity will have no choice but to turn within themselves and to one another for mutual support in order to weather these storms. It is my hope that when they truly look beyond the veil of their own mind's illusions to that deeper place, they will direct the longing that is within each soul toward God, for God may bring the solutions, the comfort, the peace, and His love, most importantly His love, to the individual, so that they may find peace and comfort in the arms of God, for God does not judge His children. Though many believe that He does judge every soul, it is a gross error in thought that God only reserves His love for those who are worthy. God's love is for every soul. No matter what condition they carry, what deeds they have done, and how they have lived their lives, that love is available to all, and may be received by all who desire it and ask for it. Unfortunately, the world is in great distress. The vast majority of humanity reflects this condition. They are lost in the illusion of their own reality, that which humanity has made, carefully constructed, and nurtured by their own will. The coming changes will shift humanity's consciousness towards the dissolution of this reality, and that error which lives within them. In this cracking open of the illusions of man, there will be great disillusionment and distress. I have come to deliver these messages to alleviate this distress and to explain to humanity what is happening, and how the conditions of darkness may be remedied by the truth of light and love once applied and expressed. It is important for those of you who are aware of this truth to live it fully and to express it fully in the world, for you will be the examples that others may follow. You cannot hide your light under a tree, beloveds. You must shine forth in loving generosity, faith, strength, clarity, humility, and grace. How else will others learn than through your ministrations, what you might give, not only to yourself, but also to those around you, a truth so vital and powerful that it is the highest truth in the universe. The power of God's love is the greatest gift that can be given, with the wonderment of what that love will do to a soul, transforming it into something that is no longer human, but divine. That transformation is the goal, and must come as each individual makes their efforts repeatedly until that day comes when the soul is truly transformed, for this transformation does not come in one great blessing, but is accomplished through the multiple blessings given by the Holy Spirit upon the soul, so that it is awakened incrementally and is transformed accordingly. Those of you who have been on this path for many years have felt the effects of the transformative powers of divine love. Your souls are no longer the souls, which began in those formative years, so in need of love and nurturing, and not altogether in light. Now, you are souls of light, that light shines forth evidently and powerfully. There are no fully transformed souls in your world, as yet, but it is certainly a possibility as the future brings greater opportunities for the soul to thrive, for God's intention is to change the condition of your world radically, and to such a degree that the soul and spirit of humanity will find great opportunities for growth and experience in this new world. In this, the dominance of the material mind and its intellectualism that dominates the cultures of your world, will recede and find its balance with the newfound and newly expressed conditions of light and harmony within the individual and in the world. Every transition requires some adjustment. Often, the nature of humanity is to resist change and to feel pain in their adjustment toward change. There is grief within for what has been lost. Often, the mind ruminates upon what is lost. Yet, if the individual is open and receptive to what God is giving to this world and what may be manifest in this world, their period of grief will be brief and not as painful, merely one step forward among many that will follow as the world changes. In the unfolding of a new world in which God is making every effort to bring about, and at this very moment is engaging many forces to transform this world from its present state of distress and darkness into light and harmony, there will not come an instant paradise. Yet, it has the potential to be so, for future generations, for the old and tired ways of man will no longer apply to the new world. The dawning of the beautiful potentials and gifts of each individual will be more readily expressed within this new world. Many will find joy in simple things. Many will appreciate life as they have never appreciated it before. Many will find love, where they have been starved of love. God will infuse this world with great love, love that will affect and influence every soul. It is God's hope that that soul will venture forth to find the source of this love, and seek out the ways in which to receive more and to be in alignment with this love. Can you imagine a world transformed by souls who themselves have been transformed by this great gift from God? His essence, His love infilling many souls? A soul that begins as a mere reflection of God but lacking substance transformed into a soul of substance and endowed with many abilities and gifts that come with its awakening, empowerment and love. If but a small portion of the human race is endowed in this way, they will have the capacity to transform the world into a place that it is meant to be, into an environment that is nurturing and in harmony with God's laws and God's love. Each of you have the great privilege and possibility of witnessing this transformation of the earth, and participating in it as well. What a great blessing it is for those who are willing and those who seek to prepare and develop themselves in such a way that they are, and will be useful and powerful instruments of God to enact His plan for the salvation of humanity. No one will be excluded in this plan for the awakening of humanity. Though many will be deeply resistant, and in this resistance, will run away from the efforts of God to help heal them and bring to them great love. These individuals will not thrive in a world that has been changed. It is my hope, and it is the prayers of all the celestial angels, that every soul upon this world of yours will answer the invitation from God to be in alignment with His love, and at the very least, to be purified within them so that their natural capacities to love will be expressed in the world readily and beautifully. God cannot countermand the free will of man, but God will open avenues and ways where the choice to be in alignment with God, the truths of God, and the laws of God, will be made easier and more evident. Often, the resistance to these things is because of ignorance. It is because humanity will not focus upon those deeper aspects of themselves and recognize a deeper purpose of life. Those distractions will no longer be a part of this world and time. What will they focus on when all their instruments and ways and means of being within that superficial quadrant of the minds are gone? What will they do? How will they respond? God will ensure that each individual may be made aware of the choice that they have, a choice to acquiesce to what will essentially be the will of God to heal this world and all within it, or to walk away from this gift offered. In the very beginning, the first parents walked away from what God had offered them. That has led to many eons of self-empowerment and much error in the expression of humanity. It has led to the conditions that you see today, where humanity has found ways and means of manipulating the world and all the elements of the world to its satisfaction and its pleasure. Yet, as I have said, there is a deep lacking within the souls of man, and God will once again present the choice to humanity in a very dramatic and powerful way. I know that many of you have imagined what this would look like, and through your mind's perception, cannot fathom how this may be accomplished. But I tell you that the will of God will manifest upon the earth, and that every soul will be given the opportunity to choose between light and dark, truth and error. Some call this the day of reckoning, although this does not mean that all souls will either ascend to heaven or descend into hell. This black and white idea of what the choice will look like is all wrong, for God honors life and will continue to honor life in this world. He will not allow humanity to desecrate His creation as it is doing at this time. Intervention is required. Lessons will be given to each individual so that they will learn and know the truth, not only of themselves but of the collective effects that humanity has upon this world. Little will be left to chance, beloved souls. All will be given what they require to awaken from their slumbers and to come to know their true natures, their true needs, and their true purpose for living in this world. Some will resolutely close their eyes once awakened, for what they see will bring them great unhappiness and fear, because they will be confused and because they will have great resistance to looking at their true selves and true condition. Others will find joy in this awakening and will seek out the ways in which they may be with God and be in harmony within themselves and their lives. There will be a great array of responses in the world since each individual is unique. God will provide every opportunity for humanity to choose light. Those opportunities will be given freely and abundantly. Many blessings will pour upon this earth. We will manifest, as will others, to help humanity cross the threshold between human error and darkness into light and truth. When all is complete and the choices have been made, the transition accomplished, the world will be born again in light, and humanity will have a second chance to walk in the world truly as God's creations and lights, rather than the confused and darkened conditions that they carry now. I have said many of these things in my messages. I have proclaimed the coming of these great changes. I have shared the remedies to the human condition. I have shown the way to know and receive the great gift of God's love and how that may indeed remedy all conditions that the individual may carry. We have journeyed together exploring many avenues, many thoughts and ways of understanding the world and understanding the individual and the universe. I have made a great effort to lead you on a journey, discovering these aspects and elements of life. I leave you with my desire and prayers that all of humanity will find its way to truth and light. I assure each and every soul upon this world, provided you make the effort and dig deep within themselves, bringing forth the desire to be in the truth of God and the love of God, you will elicit a response that your prayers will be answered, your questions will find the truth. The answers that God will give you will awaken you, astound you, and bring you great joy. Much is waiting for every soul. Much love can be given abundantly, beautifully, and powerfully to every soul who seeks it. May you seek the love of God. May you seek to be loved, to express love within you and in your life. In this way, you are a part of the solution to a world that is in deep distress and in need of great change. Love is truly the answer to all your dilemmas, beloved souls. Love will bring you to all truth and light, and all that you require to live a life in harmony and light. May you find the way toward truth, toward the transformation of your souls, toward the awakening of all things that are of God, and all of those aspects within you that longs for God and respond to His touch, for it is given in love. It is given without judgment. It is given because God loves each and everyone in this world. May you be in the grace of God. May you find the freedom of a soul released from the impediments of the mind and in alignment with God, knowing the extent of His love, knowing the joy of this knowledge, knowing the truth that He wishes to give to each of you. I am your brother and friend, Jesus. I am the Master of the Celestial Kingdom. I come to teach truth, and to teach it so that humanity may gain their healing and salvation, for within them is a soul that cries out for the truth. I come to answer that cry, to bring to you the highest of truths, the greatest of blessings and knowledge, for your journey toward light does not go unanswered or ignored in response to the crying out of souls, which is the predominant condition of your world. I come to answer those cries and to be with you in love. I am your servant. I am your teacher, and I love you. May God bless you, beloveds. I am with you on the earth plane, ministering to many, and shall do so as we continue this journey toward the light. God bless you. God bless you, beloveds.